Hi, friends. Welcome to the PA podcast. I am your host, Nadia.
And I'm your co host, Alejandra.
Thank you for joining us. We are in a new stage, testing on new products. And today we want to actually talk about your first weeks. How's it been going at the start of the school? What has been buzzing in your area, Alejandra?
Lots. There are so many kids.
Yes.
So many kids. We're so happy to be back with them. And I've also had lots of concerns shared with me. So unfortunately, they kind of come together. So some of the things that are buzzing, like you say, in my ear. I've had concerns about not having enough furniture for our students, being asked to stay after to continue supervising the kids,
Oh, yes.
paras not having their lunch break or their 2 15-minute breaks, and also our secretaries not having a duty-free lunch. So there's been a lot of things shared with me.
Yes, and I think those are same issues that I've been hearing as well that have been buzzing around in my areas where I moved around. And the first thing that I'm gonna say is there is a chain of command. And there is a process that we recommend for you guys to follow. So that way everybody's on the same page and we are able to know and find out whose contract is being violated.
Wait, before you say that, so does everybody follow this chain of command?
Well, there's a few steps that everybody could follow, whether you're a PA pay member or not. But then there's some other parts of this chain of command that it would only be applicable if you are a pay member. Because again, if you don't pay, we can't represent you. So there's going to be a
Hey,
section
sure you pay.
that we will cover. We'll probably have to do a follow up on that one that will pretty much detail the sections that are covered by those PA pay members.
Okay.
Think about
So
that.
how do I start? What do I tell my teacher friends or my secretary friends or my para friends? Like, where do I tell them to start? Because I honestly don't know. I'm not in the schools anymore. Like, well, I mean, I am physically a teacher. As a teacher, I'm not there. Because yeah, I was a secretary, so I'm not there. I'm a district employee now. So how do I tell them? How do I advise them to go about it?
Well, the first step in the chain of command is going to your media supervisor. And I know for certain positions that could be different. It could be the grade level chair for teachers. It could be a senior manager for those of us who are district-wide employee driving around everywhere. Or for secretary, that could be a lead secretary in your building. And then you go to that person, you address some of those concerns with them. I would always suggest that whenever you speak to somebody verbally, follow it up with an email. That way you have written evidence that you had a conversation about either not having enough desk or just a reminder that we spoke about not having enough desk in my classroom for all my students. Please let me know when I'm gonna get them.
I know y'all know if you don't document it, it didn't happen. So apply it to this as well.
So even if you have a conversation with one of your direct supervisors or immediate supervisor, always follow it up with an email. Once you do that, if you don't feel that there's a response or a quick turnaround, then you could go to your next level supervisor, and that could be your assistant principal, that could be your director, or assistant principal as well for secretaries. Same issue. Speak to them, follow it up with an email. Then no resolution for that one, then go up to your principal. If you do not feel comfortable speaking to a principal, there are things or people in our building called stewards. Those used to be your building reps. Their new title is a steward because they are gonna watch that your contract, our contract, secretary, teacher, and paras is not being violated. And those things, not having enough furniture, not having the resources you need to teach your students, not getting your breaks, having an excessive amount of student contact, including staying after dismissal time for supervision. That is additional minutes that you have with your students. So those are additional minutes that need to count for that week. We have a required number of minutes that we have to fulfill with the students, and you cannot go over that. If you don't feel comfortable speaking to your principal alone, contact your building steward, your building rep, and they will definitely go with you to a meeting and discuss it with the principal and give you some guidance. And those are the first people that you have as a foundation. Again, building rep will give you guidance of where in your contract they could help you use that language to cover for yourself, especially if you are not a paying member of the union. If you're a paying member of the union, then they could definitely come into the meeting with you and work with you on that. But what we're gonna do, we're gonna keep you in suspense because the next part is going to be for our paying members. We're gonna cover the rest of the steps for our paying members and what you need to do for that. So please stay tuned.
Yes, make sure that in the meantime, you do join PEA. You follow us on social media. You subscribe to our no, not subscribe. You subscribe to our YouTube and just continue learning with us. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
I screwed up in the very end.
Hopefully she could do a better.
It's actually really big. 3, 2. All right, guys. Well, on that